Now, before we begin today's video, I just want to say thank you to all the members of the Wolfpack. I appreciate the extra love and support you guys have shown the channel. It's an incredible feeling. It makes me want to just do more for you guys. So like I promised in the other video, I'm going to drop the single back wing stack scheme. And then I'm going to work on the bunch offset because I don't really use the bunch offset, but I still know the setups and all that to make it very powerful. I will do some gameplay with it because people did ask me to do gameplay with it. I'll show you just how to use it properly. So stay tuned for that. My 335 SAM defense is still in the member section that I use to compete in the top 100. But the play we're going to be talking about today is going to be 335 odd. This is going to be out of the Miami Dolphins playbook. So drop a like, become a member. I'll show you the coverage aspect of one of the plays in the 335 odd. In Madden 22, you pretty much want to blend it all around, use different things, different adjustments, different setups. But let me give you a good bend, don't break setup. 335 odd Dolphins playbook. Personnel is key. I don't know what I'm doing here. What I did here is I took my safety out and I put a cornerback in there that has 93 speed with 93 excel. He's the guy that I want to use her. And then I take linebackers out. I put Stevens. He's a 91 speed. This is the Ravens. But over here, I left my linebacker, which is Queen, because Queen's 89 speed. And then I dropped my best rushers. I got Campbell here in the middle. And on the outside linebacker position, I have Owe, he's an 89 speed as well. Now, I'm going to show you a defense, and then I'm going to show you a weakness that people don't realize that you need to figure out yourself. Now, as far as coaching adjustments, I go ahead and leave defensive play call off because I want to use her the same guy all the time. Ball and air defense, I'm going to go ahead and play ball. Cornerback matchups by speed. You can do that if I switch to Madden defense, I will. And in the start of the game, if it's 1st and 10, like it's the first drive, my flats go to 5. Okay, I'm going to leave them at 5 for now. And I'll show you why. Okay, so check this out. 5. Name of the player we're going to talk about is the famous LB Cross 3 Show 2. Now to start the game, assuming they run bunch, right? To start the game, I will leave the seam flats out there, and then I will put these 2 inside guys on hard flats. Now remember, we put them to 5, so they're not really going to play true hard flats. They're actually going to play a little bit further. They're going to look like soft squats. They're not going to take off like soft squats, but they're going to be like soft squats, and we'll show you what I mean. Now, I don't know what the defense is here, but I can tell you one thing, that our middle third is misaligned. If you do have the time, you move him. If you don't, you have to guard with your user. You have to watch the side because the streak from the RB route can cook you over here. A lot of people like to throw that over there. So if you're running this, okay, if you have the time, you can move this guy. If not, it's your responsibility, but it's still kind of your responsibility. So you could start off with this setup first. If not, you could go ahead and start with like manning up the RB route, which I do a lot. I'll man them up. But to start the game off, I'm gonna go ahead and just blitz myself, spread the line. Remember, you spread the lines because remember, here's another tip. Stock contained plays work better than you putting contained. So let's say you run a defensive play and then you put the contains, the QB contains. It's not gonna work as a stock QB contains from a stock play. Test it if you don't believe me. You'll see what I mean. And this is going to be an initial setup. You're going to watch the middle of the field on plays like this. Boom, middle. Everything's clamped up with this setup, man. Okay, everything. Now, the one thing that's not going to be clamped up are going to be the corner routes when they get outside. So you can attempt to, run the same play. They can run, let's say, a corner route. So they flip the play. Let's just say they run Z spot. You can attempt to shade outside. So let's spread the D-line, blitz ourselves. These guys go on flats, okay? We watch middle of the fat. Now let's watch what the seam does on this corner route to the left side. So we're gonna snap the ball. Let's watch the corner route as we shade outside. He's too late to pick it up, okay? Too late, corner route's wide open. So this is what we're going to do next, okay? So check this out. We're gonna come to our coaching adjustments. We're gonna change these to 25. We're gonna leave the seam flats there. But now, since we know he's gonna let's assume it's 3rd and 19, 3rd and 29. We're gonna change these to 25 or 30. We're gonna come back to the same play. Now this is key, this is crucial. You gotta remember this right here, what I'm about to tell you. You have to understand where your cloud flats are, okay, in this defense. Here's why. If they're too far inside, they will never make it to the outside line. So you'll have to spread spread the linebackers. I don't know why it's not doing it, but you spread the linebackers so they come out here, and then you put them on hard flats again. I don't know why they're going into the wrong stuff, bro. You put them on hard flats. Now remember, just because you put them on hard flats doesn't mean they're gonna go to the hard flat. They're going 25 yards out, just like a cloud. Now let's shade outside. We have our inside third on the same spot because he's here on the bunch side is where you want him. So that's another thing you gotta pay. This is where you start to become more advanced. You have to lab this. You have to practice this, man, so you'll understand. So we put them out there. There goes the guy with the corner route. The corner route is locked up, but everything underneath is open. So you see the chess match when you start making these adjustments. Now, another thing I wanted to show you guys is the fact that opposite side of this play, sometimes you do want to flip the play. And here's why. Sometimes it does make sense to turn auto flip on and user the other guy. Here's why. Let's say I just come out with LB cross 3 show 2, and then I come over here and I pick gun and I leave the bunch to the right and I drop a corner route to the right, okay? Auto flip will automatically align Averett. This guy will play properly if you're gonna play a cloud flat, or this guy would play properly if it's a cloud flat, okay? So the reason for that is if you try to, let me just explain this to you guys. Since this guy's on the bottom and it's crisscrossed, interesting. Oh, this is interesting. This is weird. If you try to put a guy that's on the line like this guy right here in a cloud flat or hard flat and try to get him to drop 20 yards, 25 yards, he won't make it. He'll stay inside the numbers. So the cloud flats that are coming from the defensive line aren't gonna help you on corner routes. It has to be the guys that are out there. Let's go recent play. Let's go to bunch. And let's just assume they flip the play. There's a corner route. You'll see that these guys are aligned. But okay, this guy right here, if he's on the left hash going right and you're trying to use a cloud flat with Owe, he's not gonna make it out there. It's gonna be impossible for him. So right here, what we do is we leave him on a seam flat, and then we put these guys in the hard flat at 25 yards. This is assuming they need a lot of yards. If not, then that's when you start to use your coaching adjustments at 5. You leave your seam flats there, then switch it to like 10, maybe 15. You know what I mean? And then blitz yourself. So you'll have this setup right here. You know what I'm saying? So now these guys are gonna play back there. You watch middle of the field. They're waiting on crossing routes, and it's just great. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna edit this, and we're gonna cut right to the next segment of the whole thing. All right, so the next thing that we wanna talk about is we're gonna go ahead and take these guys off and put them at 0 or default. We're gonna run the same play, and then I'm gonna just show you guys how to mix it up and make it better, okay? Just to where your opponent never knows what you're gonna do. You're constantly blending this all in, you know what I mean? Just follow my lead. So now that you understand how we did that with keeping seam flats and just using cloud flats with these guys, now what we can do is we can actually blitz ourselves, shade underneath. So now they do play hard flats, and then put this guy on a purple, right? And then what I do, like, let's assume I'm running hard flats with no coaching adjustments. I'll go ahead and man up the tight end because I don't need to worry about a table route by the running back. Man up the tight end, bro. Like, it's showing that he's blitzing still. So we'll have a Mabel on this side. We're manning up the tight end. I don't really need to worry about the running back unless it's a run or if it's a screen. You know what I mean? So we have that set up here. So we man up the tight end. We're shading underneath, and we're putting a curl flat on this side to slow. And then we're just watching the inside. So as he snaps the ball, boom, we watch the inside. Right here, inside, and you have that deep crossing route that can get open, but that outside third will play it pretty good because that's just the way the play is designed. Now let me show you guys another setup. You see the Mabel with the man up principles. If you shade underneath, you can man up the tight end. If you shade over the top and you're using coaching adjustments, that running back runs a table route, you're cooked, all right? So the next thing we can do, I'm gonna show you what you can do is, this is what I use. I love this one a lot. I'll shade underneath, wire triangle right stick down for underneath, and then I'll take my guys and I'll just start manning them up to different people. Okay, so like this right here, I'll man up the wire route. I'll watch the tight end right now. All I gotta do is watch Adams right here. He's open, so that's just a bad user by me, but you're seeing now when I come back, I will go ahead and man up the B route to go to the outside. So it's always going to be someone that gets manned up differently, and then you watch the one that's not being covered. So you're switching your assignment on your user, and it helps you out a lot because you can stick to a certain, you know what I mean? You can stick to a certain route. You don't have to try to jump routes. You just stick to it. And I hope this sheds light on for some of you guys to run the defense properly. You're gonna see it a lot in tournaments, and this is just one part of the whole 335 odd. I'll drop more for you guys. If you want to learn the 335 SAM that I use personally, it's in the member section. Love you guys, man. Peace.